Hello and welcome. I'm Anand, and good morning, afternoon, evening, whoever it is in the world that you are. Thank you so much for watching. On today's video, I'm going to talk about why in the world is everyone talking about Facebook ads, and why should you be considering to use it. Now, I realize that Facebook advertising is something that people talk about all over the place at many different events, business events, networkings, conferences. It's almost as if you could throw a stick and it's gonna hit some self-proclaimed Facebook ads guru or expert or something in the back of the head. The fact is that Facebook is something that it's not just for the special among businesses to be able to navigate. It really is a platform that can be inclusive for anybody. Now, I happen to have been using Facebook for almost half a decade now, about 5 years, a little bit less than 5 years. Along that path, I've run an agency, I've been a freelancer and a contractor. I've scaled everything from small business all the way up to multi-seven-figure rapid scale accounts. I've worked for a global traditional agency. I've been on the client side, working directly with different brands and different e-com businesses. I've overall overseen about 20 to 25 million-ish of ad spend on Facebook. And along that way, I've sold everything from yoga pants to esthetician laser machines and everything in between. So it's something where I say that because when I'm sharing my perspective, my belief on why business owners should be considering using Facebook right now, and how it can be a valuable piece of any business's marketing efforts. It's because I've seen it. I've watched dozens and dozens and dozens of business owners change their lives and their business as a result of effectively using Facebook. Now, a couple of facts just so that way it's not just some Yahoo like me sharing his perspective, but back in 2019, a study was done by the Pew Research Center that found that 71% of Americans were using Facebook. That's a good chunk of the entire internet-connected population here in the States. On top of that, that same research study found that 74% of those people, so about 3/4 of them, visit the site every single day. And half of them go to Facebook twice a day. Now, Americans in particular, we spend on average about 30 minutes a day on Facebook. And then it was something where people found another study done back in 2017 by Digital Future found that the average person spends a total of 24 hours online. Now, this is key because when you're advertising on Facebook, you're not just on Facebook. Facebook owns so many different assets, and it's not just that they own websites, they have their advertising on websites. They work with apps, they work with publications, they're working with different games and different types of platforms that Facebook has aligned and partnered with. On top of that, it's something where when you're working with Facebook, you're not just getting access to Facebook and all of the ridiculous amount of data that Facebook has, which that would be a fun video to do research on what all data does Facebook really have. I'll have to remember that from this video. Anyways, you're not just getting access to all the data that Facebook proper, like Facebook as a company has, you've also got access to the data of Facebook's partners, of the different data aggregation companies that Facebook is working with. So it's something where if you know that the average American spends 24 hours a week online, and that was 3 years ago. So just think about how much more time people spend on the internet now after COVID versus before COVID. It was 24 hours before. It is sure to be significantly higher now. And to know that you can begin to strategically place yourself in the flow of information by being on Facebook. Now, one of the challenges I hear, at this point I've consulted and I've coached thousands of businesses all over the world. And one of the biggest challenges I see that's reasonable, I get it, is Facebook is hard. Facebook's confusing. Facebook is scary. Well, first of all, that's what channels like this are about. I want to pierce the veil, remove the covers that hide how agencies and freelancers and contractors actually succeed on Facebook. And I want to share with you guys the exact steps, piece by piece, of how you can apply Facebook advertising in your business. I say that because one of the other benefits of why people use Facebook is because it's simple. It's ease of use. It doesn't require downloading some super fancy software that's going to slow down your computer. On Facebook, you don't have to have like some Hollywood media budget to be able to create a super fancy video shoot or anything. Quite frankly, on Facebook, you can go in there, take a selfie, upload that, and make some copy that says, hey, I'm Dr. John, chiropractor in your local area. Just help somebody out. They're in a bunch of pain. I cracked their back, and now they're better. You have a bunch of pain? Talk to me. I'd love to see if we can help you with whatever issue you're dealing with. That's a simple example. What I mean is that think about whenever you go to a networking event. Well, let's say you're out in public and you're just having a casual conversation with somebody. That's not necessarily an appropriate time to just go and shamelessly pitch yourself because you don't know what people are looking for. So it requires a process of understanding and listening to them. Yet on Facebook, you're able to separate the crowd of the people who are not looking for your services and the people who are. And you do that simply from the words that you say and the image or the video that you put out there. So no different than, it's kind of like if you said, hey, if you're in a crowded room and you say, hey, everybody who's looking for a chiropractor, raise your hand. And then you just go and talk to those people. That's what Facebook does for you. Because when you're able to go in there and put a piece of content out there, like I said, it could be as simple as a selfie and some words introducing yourself. Well, anybody who clicks on that ad that specifically says who you are and what you're doing, you now know those people are interested. You've been able to separate it. They've been able to raise their hand, at which point now you can go in and retarget those people, nurture a relationship with those people. You can create an audience of anybody who's clicked on your ad, been to your website, watched one of your videos, or various other different ways of connecting with people. And you can share with them stories, share with them updates, let them know cool features about what you do, or just make a personal connection and show them who you are. This is something where on Facebook, it takes a matter of a couple of minutes once you learn what to do, and it's something where there's not very many other places that you can just dive right into, and with so much sophistication available, you're still able to start from a very simple level as well. And this kind of runs into my next point, which is it has a very low barrier to entry. So whether you're a local brand new pizza shop that took advantage of the situation going on around the world and realized, well, let's deliver pizza to people as a necessary service, and you're starting from a shoestring budget. Well, on Facebook, you're able to start advertising for as low as $1 a day. Now, I'm not going to tell you you're going to become wealthy off of $1 a day, and this is definitely not 2015 through 2017 when you can run $5 a day budgets and just sell, fidget spinners and make $1 million. At the same time, it's something where if you know your customers, you know what they're looking for, you know what it is that they want to see. Again, that's the equivalent of getting people to raise their hand. So being able to test and to try something out, to just see if it's going to work, to see if it connects with people for as little as $1 a day, $20-$40, and you can find out if something is working or not. That's amazing. That's so much better than having to drop $500 or $1,000 on a traditional print media piece, or worse, having to sign into some kind of a contract and be stuck with a marketing team for months when you haven't even validated your offer yet. There'll be separate videos about that, about at what point should you get an agency, at what point should you get a contract or a freelancer, and what can you do as a business owner to be able to bring the most success. At the same time, reason why Facebook is so attractive to so many business owners around the world is because it's got a low barrier to entry and you can quickly test and iterate. Then the last two pieces kind of go together. One is you get relatively quick results. If you guys remember the SEO days where you wanted to start to optimize your website for search features because everyone's on Google looking things up, you're looking at a 6 months to 12 month plus process, which might mean hiring an SEO agency at $5,000, $10,000 a month, signing a contract with them, paying what ends up being tens of thousands of dollars to find out if it works at the end of the day. And then you just had a whole glut of less experienced agencies that had almost no idea what they're doing. Now, this is important to think about because now on Facebook, you can get results within a matter of days. When we run split tests, we advise giving it between 2 to 4 days to run, or between 2,500 to 8,000 impressions. Now, if your eyes are glazing over from the technical talk, don't worry, we'll have separate videos where I go into the details of that. The point is that for anywhere from as low as $10 up to $40, we know if a test is working or not. if we really want to validate our hypothesis, our theories, we'll let it run for $80 to $100. Yet from that, there's only two things that can happen. It either works or it doesn't work. If it works, which means it's making money and producing a favorable response, we do more of it, increase the budget, put more attention, do more of what's working. If it doesn't, if you see the results are bad, you see that you're losing money, you see that you're not getting the engagement you're looking for, stop doing it. You can kill it off, figure out what is it about that's not working, and roll out a new test, which allows you to iterate, day by day, because if you have several tests running simultaneously, you constantly have new data coming in every single day. So to be able to get results this quickly makes it to where your business can be very nimble. So you're not at the risk of, signing a check for a bunch of money and then crossing your fingers for 60 days hoping that it works. Instead, on Facebook, you're able to adjust and adapt, and even if a test doesn't win, you still have bought data to get a better understanding of your customer and how they think and what they're actually looking for. And finally, and this is by far the most attractive reason why people use Facebook advertising, and everyone seems to be talking about Facebook advertising, is the scalability. Because of the fact that on Facebook, when you have something that works, when you crack that code, when you get that resonance between your message and between your customers' desires and needs, you're able to scale it to the moon and back. So it's something where, let's just say, a relatively normal situation is you've got a company, you've tested out, you found that it does sell. You found out people like it, people are buying it, and you figured out how to sell it on Facebook. But you're not quite sure how to really scale that up. Well, what we typically see as an agency is that first 30 to 60 days is going to be testing out the different pieces of the funnel. Again, we'll have a video about that goes into all the details. At the same time, basically, you're testing all the bits and bobs to find out what works and what doesn't. And the things that don't work, you don't do it. The things that do work, you do a lot more of it. Yet when you see those things working, you can 10x, 100x, or even 1000x your results on Facebook. Because there's over 2 billion people that use the platform. So if you're a local business, okay, I get it. You're not going to be able to take your yoga studio and have people flying from Tibet to go to your yoga studio in San Diego. At the same time, if you're a yoga studio, you probably have a brand of some time. You probably have trainers, and those trainers may have some kind of online program that can allow for people who are in Tibet who may want to see an American San Diegan yoga studio specialist teaching yoga. Well, now you have a way to interact with these people. Yet I'm not even talking about global markets. That's a whole separate conversation that, frankly, I believe it's something like 70% plus, and I don't have the statistic available, but the vast majority of engagement and traffic and ad spend on Facebook actually is going to other countries. The US is a relatively small, profitable bubble on the platform. I say that because something where on Facebook, the most attractive thing is that, let's say you're practicing, you're refining, you're testing your message, you're doing everything you can for weeks or months. When you succeed, you can succeed big, which makes it to where you can be working on your business, improving your product, improving your customer service and operations, supply chain, and all that fun businessy stuff. And you can know that as you're investing in Facebook, you're developing something that gives you, you're investing in something that has a high probability that when focused on and refined consistently can result in a very high degree of growth. So if that's been helpful, I'd love your feedback. If there's any other reasons why you guys enjoy using Facebook, or maybe even why you don't, feel free to drop that down. And if you found value in this video, please go ahead and smack that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and drop a like on this video, because that will tell the algorithm that you enjoy this content and help connect this video to more people that I can serve. Until next time, I'm Anand, and bye for now.